Hello Papa, today's video is on some money saving tips. You know how sometimes we have these bits of bread that nobody wants to eat left over in the fridge and we just, end up putting it in the bin? What a waste of money and waste of food. Let me show you how I don't waste money and I don't waste food by making good use of this stale bread and turning it into something very useful in my kitchen. So join me. Don't go anywhere. Okay, let's get right into it. So let's turn these stale bread into some breadcrumbs. But I'm going to make it so easy for myself using my air fryer to toast the bread. If you don't have an air fryer, you can use your oven, or sometimes I use my toaster. Just toasting it in the toaster for some couple of minutes is also good. So using my air fryer, I can do a large batch at a time. So to make it easier, you have to break it up into pieces because you want every part of that bread to be toasted. You want a light crunch on the bread. So that's why using a stale bread is very, very good. If you're using fresh bread, it takes a good while to get it nice and dry. So the stale bread is just perfect. So here I have just broken it up into pieces. Try to have a one layer so that every part of that bread can get evenly toasted and dry. So I toasted this bread at a temperature of about 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. You can use a lower temperature, but it means that it will need a longer time to become nice and dry with a little bit of brownness. You want that brownness to it. It brings that nuttiness in the bread. For me, I was using some seeded bread, so I wanted that nuttiness to come out. So toasting it at a bit of a higher temperature really helps. So here I had gone halfway and I was just checking to see if it was nice and dry in the middle bits. It needed a little bit more time, so I just put it back in. So you need to be keeping an eye on it so that it doesn't burn. Right? So here it was ready, it was nice and crunchy. You could hear that crunch. Yeah. So next batch went in for the second toast. Now, whilst the second batch is toasting, I started blending or milling my breadcrumbs. So you can, if you've got a coffee mill, you can use. If you've got a food processor, you can use that to blend it as well. Usually a food processor would have a bit of larger crumbs, so you need to sieve it. Mine, because I'm using a mill, it was much finer in texture, so there was no need to sieve it. So yeah, you have to use whatever you have. You can, even if you don't even have any of these processes, just use a rolling pin, put it in a bag and use a rolling pin to crunch it and then sieve it afterwards. So yeah, I had my second batch ready. Look how crunchy. Oh, my kids were actually munching on this. Can you believe it? So it can be a snack for them, really. That's another way to make good use of it. And I'll bring you another way you can make it a stale bread into a snack for your kids as well. So watch out for that video. Alright, so I continued milling everything into my breadcrumbs. And this is breadcrumbs. Yes, when I was little, growing up in Ghana, we didn't have access to store-bought breadcrumbs, and this is how we made our breadcrumbs for our KFC style chicken. So here I am. I have shared this recipe with you, and I hope you would make good use of it. Don't throw away your store bread. Turn it into something really useful. So now that the breadcrumbs is ready, usually if you're using a mill or if a type of food processor, it will be warm. So you need to let it cool down before you actually put it in your storage tin. So here's my breadcrumbs. The aroma itself was just It was smelling good. You could smell the nuttiness. It was just great. So Midofpa, if you are still here watching this and you really like what's going on, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Charlie, my adu. Give me a thumbs up, like, share, and call your friends to come and join this family, because there's so much that I'm going to bring to you. I have so much on here already, but I have more to bring to you this year. God help me, I'm going to share a lot more with you this year. So here I was putting my breadcrumbs in my storage tin. So it's my glass jar, sterilized, dried. You want to really dry, no moisture in there before you put all your breadcrumbs into it. Okay, so everything went in there, and this is my breadcrumbs to be used for recipes I'll be sharing with you very, very soon. So stay put, subscribe, and yeah, let's be part of this family, Aftrad Village Kitchen family. Now, don't forget to do the most important thing, which is to label your glass jar or your tin, whatever you are using. You've got to label it. So here I labeled it so that I do not forget what's in there. And not just me, I'm not the only one in the house. Anybody else will know what's in there. Alright? Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, turn on your notification button, because there will be one dropping soon next Sunday. So yeah, see you in my next video.